Nerdly presents the feed where the reels unwind. Off the real podcast, digging deep in the grind. 80 flicks, low cash, big dreams in the frame. No blockbuster hype, just the realest in the game. Reviews so sharp, we cut through the noise. Breaking down the shots with the cinematic poise. From the script to the screen, we dissect it all. Indie cinema kings, yeah, we support them all.
I cannot remember the last time I watched a movie and the moment the credits hit, the moment the film finished, I just wanted to jump in here and talk to you about this film, tell you all about this film, and bring you the off-the-reel goodness you all deserve. That's right, this movie is called Swing Bout. It's a female boxer backstage drama. It's Irish. We're going to talk about it, but first of all, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and ding that notification bell. My name is Kevin Halden, and this is Nerdly Presents Off the Reel. Talk to you about the plot of this movie with as few spoilers as humanly possible. Then we'll get into the cast and crew of the movie, what I did and did not like about this movie, and then we'll get into my final Nerdly Presents Off the Reel rating of this movie. But I will tell you now, little bit of a spoiler alert, I love this movie. This is my movie of the year. We are a ball hair into this year, and this is my movie of the year right now. And I'm going to predict it is going to be hard to beat this movie. It is going to be hard to bring something that hits me the way this movie hit me for the rest of this year. And it's a pretty simple premise. So if you don't know what a swing bout is, a swing bout, as we are told at the start of this movie, is the fighters that sit behind the scenes, sit in the locker room all night, and they may not get to fight. But if a fighter pulls out or if a fight doesn't go ahead, then these guys, well, females, these women in this case, get to go out into the ring. Now, we meet Tony, and Tony is told right at the start of the movie, she's kind of told that best bring your A game. And she is buzzing because she gets to go against Vicky, and Vicky is kind of like looking to be the new up-and-coming thing within the promotion. And that's when Tony's coach, Emma, is pulled in by the organizers of the event. Vicky's the face of the company. Vicky needs to have a really good, convincing win to start off her career. Tony is going to have to take a little bit of a dive. This isn't going to sit well with Tony because she is ready to go. She's already psyched up. She's ready for business. So when Emma goes to tell Tony, it's a hard, bitter pill to swallow, but you know what? It just might be what's best for business in the long run. And that is the movie. It's the drama. It's the thriller. It's the dynamics of the characters backstage. We spend all of our time either in the backstage locker room or in the toilet or in the hallway. We're not going to see a lot of boxing. In fact, we're not really going to see any boxing. There is a fight in the movie, but it's not in the ring. And that is what I loved about this movie. We're going to get into that in a second. But yeah, so it is basically all about the actions, the reactions, and everybody's prerogative backstage. As these girls fight to be recognized and acknowledged and realize that they're kind of being used in a way, and that's the things they've got to deal with going forward if they want to make it in this industry. So let's get into my cast and crew of this film. And normally I would start with the cast, but actually I'm going to start with writer-director Maurice O'Carroll because oh my Christ, this movie blew me away. Like, the writing in this movie is absolutely unbelievable. Now, little bit of behind the scenes baseball. I did reach out to the cast and crew of this movie like as soon as I watched it because I was just in awe of what I had just watched. Didn't expect anybody to get back to me. I just wanted them to know, by the way, this is what I think of your movie. He was like, yeah, man, I got so lucky with my cast, but yeah, you got lucky with your cast. It was an embarrassment of riches, which we will talk about in a second. But honestly, your writing and your directing and the way you toe lines in between this movie of having so many different conversations going on at one time, so many different voices speaking at one time, so many different actions, knowing when to cut to certain parts, when to break the tension a little bit when you're getting into the edit. This is a director we have got to be keeping an eye out for. He is going to absolutely smash it. And I think if people see this movie and then throw a ton of cash at him, because this is a low budget movie, Maurice O'Carroll, I think, has got a very, very healthy future. Tony is unreal. What a character. Ciara Berkeley is just, she smashes this. From the moment we open this movie, just on her face, she's got the headphones on, she's locked in, she's dialed in. We open up there and it's like, right, okay, that's the kind of movie we are in for. This is the kind of girl we're dealing with. You can see everything about her past, her present, and hopefully her future in her face. She doesn't need to speak. This is one of those performances that can truly elevate someone to the next level. And boy, howdy, when people start casting this girl in everything, she will smash it. Across from her, fighting her tonight, is Chrissie Cronin as Vicky. And obviously, Vicky is going to be the next big star of this promotion, the boxing promotion that we're fighting for. And yeah, she doesn't really know that the fix is in. She doesn't know any of that, because if she knows that, then it's not really going to sell itself. How do you sell that performance? And she's dialed in, she's locked in, she's ready to go. But when things start to happen, because we do get other characters that things do start to happen with them, there is one fight that we see the after effects of. And when Vicky sees these things, she starts to doubt, does she have what it takes? Does she even want to be out there? And that's when her father, who is also her coach, played by Johnny Elliott, he comes in and kind of like gives her a little bit of act right. And at first you're kind of like, dude, what the shit? This is your daughter. You're supposed to be protecting her at every cost. She clearly is a little bit worried about what's going on. You realize that as a coach, he has to do that. He has to man up and step up and basically tell her that you need to get these butterflies gone, because you're about to go in there and you're about to go to war. And look at Tony over there. She looks ready. She's dialed in. She looks like a psychopath, ready to go at you. But then when he needs to be a father, and you see some of the effects of some of the other fights, yeah, that really shines as well. So yeah, we skipped to one of the adult characters there, but again, Chrissie Cronin absolutely smashing it. She is vicious. She looks vicious when it comes to getting into that ring. She looks like she's gonna kick the living crap out of Tony, and she doesn't care who Tony is, her backstory, or anything like that. What she cares about is her right now. This is her moment. And there's a bit where she does like a little bit of a press conference. She sells it. Like one of the best kind of, I know it's a movie, I know it's scripted and all that, but one of the best kind of press conference like performances you'll see in a movie ever. We do have two other boxers. They will go and have a fight, and we see them when they come back, and we see the after effects of that fight. And that's Megan Haley as Mary and Neve Kremen as Bernie. We don't spend a massive great deal of time with them, but they are there to kind of like show the girls, to show our main girls that actually not all is as it seems. Mary and Bernie have a really nice relationship where they've gone in and they've just gone so many rounds in the ring. They've clobbered the crap out of each other. But when they come backstage, there is a love, there is a respect, there is an affection there between the two. And it's really, really nice to see them play that out. Mary does have some issues as she comes out the ring. She goes to see the medics and all that, but the medics give her the all clear. And then that just shows you a little bit more about the kind of promotion they're fighting for, because then as the movie goes on, no spoilers, but we do have some issues. I've already spoken about Johnny Elliott, the father of Vicky, but we also have Emma, the coach of Tony, and Sinead O'Riordan, who is also a producer on this movie, and she's absolutely killing it. Badass boss bitch, you know. She's in this realm. She's a female within this realm where the only other real adult characters we have are male characters. We have the two boxing promoters, and then we have Vicky's coach. And they are all very machismo men, very much this is how the boxing world is. And Sinead O'Riordan as Emma is showing us she can hang. You may have the balls, but you know what? I'm going to take your balls. I'm going to put them in my purse because I'm a badass bitch. This is my fighter. That is a little bit diminished in terms of character when she realizes that actually her fighter's probably going to have to take a dive, and then she has to sell that to her fighter. But will she come good in the end? I'm not going to spoil that for you. You need to watch the movie. Two brothers who are the boxing promoters who own the company. And we have Ben Condron as Jack, who's kind of like more of the face. He's more of the guy that's going round about behind the scenes, talking to the coaches, talking to the boxers. This is how it's going to go. This is what you're going to do. He also deals with some nefarious characters that we don't really get to see within the movie, which is good. I'm glad we didn't, but he has to deal with those guys. So they're kind of dealing with all of this. Frank Prendergast as Mikko, who is Jack's brother, also kind of the guy that seems like he runs the company properly. He's the one that is like putting the money into it. He's the one that's getting all the girls onto the card. He's the one that's really put this empire together and then brought Jack in to kind of do the heavy lifting, to kind of do the grunt work. Their relationship is so fascinating within this movie. Obviously, they're brothers, so there's going to be a little bit of loggerheads. But when we get to kind of like the climax of their story, it is so cool, and yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit more. And there are a bunch of other actors and characters in this movie that I really could shine a light on, but it would just make this whole thing 10 times longer. One guy I do want to talk about, though, John Connors as the guru, the voice. When we first kind of get into this movie, we have a voiceover, and it's, I believe, I may have misread this, but I believe it's Tony listening to a podcast on a headphones who's like, "You are the badass. You are the one that's going to do it. You're going to go far. Who are you not to be great? Who are you to listen to these people who put you down? You are the man." And he comes in to get the movie hyped up. And hyped up he does get this movie. Because whenever that voice starts hitting, man, what a voice. It is powerful. It bellows down the screen and basically just gets you ready for whatever's coming next. You get it at the start, you get it at the end, you get it a couple of times throughout the movie. And it really does add another level to this boxing movie that you're maybe not going to get without seeing the fights, because again, you're not seeing the fights, but you're getting this guy really just bellowing down that screen and really telling you what is going on in this girl's head as if she's not already telling us. What I didn't like about the movie, what I really do love about this movie, and it's pretty obvious, is the concept on the whole. Like when I read the synopsis and when I read the concept, I was a little bit like, wait, we're not going to see any boxing? That's kind of the point of a boxing movie. But at the end of the day, I'm always going to give something like this a chance because I love the likes of 12 Angry Men. I love the likes of Glengarry Glen Ross. I love the behind-the-scenes courtroom drama kind of things. And that's what we're doing here. It's just a group of actors who are getting to act their absolute bollocks off. And every one of them is doing so. So when you have material like this, you really can just elevate with the performances. And that's the main thing that I like. They all took a punt on this concept that really could have fell in so many places. But you know what? Because of the performances we're all getting and we're all giving, it works. And that's one of the things that I really loved. I love the music in this movie, the score to this movie, the soundtrack. Everything just kicks in the right places. And again, like I said, John Connors doing the guru voice over the top. It kicks in when it's needed. It really elevates the tension and the way you're feeling that anxiety. And so I did mention that we don't see any of the fights, but we do hear the fights, because what we have is we have a radio kind of playing in the background that's doing the play-by-play commentary of the fight. And that is going on in this movie when the tense moments are happening. So not only do you have this amazing acting and this fantastic dialogue that we're working with, this story that we're working with, not only do you have that, but you also have the score, which is pitching in when it needs to. We have the soundtrack and everything like that that's pitching in when it needs to. But then we have this play-by-play commentary from the fight. We get the play-by-play commentary that's really sort of like, you can hear those hits hitting, you can hear those punches landing, and I loved that concept as well, especially when we get to the last kind of like 10-15 minutes of the movie. Again, no spoilers, but it all kind of does boil over and come to a little bit of a head where all of our main characters are kind of in a very, very close, tight proximity. Something happens with one of our girls. That means everybody else is sort of like, what's going on? What's going on? We need to do something. We need to do something. And the conversations going back and forwards from all different parties really does just ratchet and ratchet and ratchet that tension to an absolute fever pitch. My heart was in my throat at points. I couldn't breathe at certain points. I wished I saw this movie in the cinema so that I could have heard the absolute silence that would have been happening in this moment. You would have been able to hear a pin drop in the cinema for these moments, for this moment. And I would have loved to have been there for that in a cinema with an audience, like a packed, full audience. But as it stands, I was on the edge of my seat in my house, my hands gripping my legs, my trousers were getting just crumpled up and everything because I felt so anxious, so on the edge. I just needed to, like, when this scene kind of ended and when the credits rolled on this movie, I had to take a walk. I had to go outside and take a minute to myself because this movie got to me. So let's talk about my off the reel rating, because to be perfectly honest, there's not a lot I didn't like about this movie. There's not really anything. Could it have been longer? Maybe. But I do like how tight it is. It kind of feels like a real-time thing. Tony is getting her chance to fight at some point in this night. So that is the logical closure point. That is the logical way we're going to go. And these things do only last a couple of hours. So this movie can only last an hour and a half to 2 hours. Could it be longer? Possibly. I don't know. I don't think it needed to be. I would like to have seen more. This is a 5 out of 5 for me. This movie, for me, is damn near perfect. And if it isn't perfect, it's as close as you're ever going to get to being perfect. This film slaps on so many levels. The performances are unreal. Ciara Berkeley is going to go far. Maurice O'Carroll is going to go far. Sinead O'Riordan is going to go far. I can't wait to see what she does next in the producer's chair, actress chair. I can't wait to see what these guys all bring to the table in our next movie. This is my movie of 2025 so far. It's going to take a hell of a lot of beating. There are some good films coming out this year that I'm really looking forward to seeing, big budget and low budget, but it's going to take a lot to beat Swing Bout. Swing Bout is a 5 out of 5 for me. I absolutely loved it. Please do hit me in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of this movie if you got a chance to see it. Let me know if what I'm doing is just pure hyperbole. Let me know all these good things. Comment down there and I will get back to you and we will continue the conversation down there. But yeah, Swing Bout is the movie of the year for me, and I need everybody to check it out. I really want everybody to check this film out when it's available, when it's out there. I will put all the links in the description below to let you know where you can see it. But honestly, it's just brilliant. Please do check out all the other reviews down below. There's loads down there. I've reviewed a lot of movies now. Please do keep coming back and seeing what I have to say about other films that you may know, you may love, and you may have seen. But for now, I am off. But check this film out and just give them all the support you possibly can. And again, to the director and to the cast and crew of this movie, I did reach out to a good chunk of people from this film, and I got a couple of responses back that I was not expecting. You have all done an absolutely fantastic job. Thank you for letting us see this movie. Thank you for bringing it to the world, and thank you for answering me, because you know what, I don't expect anything like that when I throw these messages out there. It's just something like I feel like I want to put good energy, positivity out into the ether, and if you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. But yeah, I'm so glad that I got to see this movie and you guys did a bang up job. So yeah, I'm off. See you next time.